Hey, what's going on, movie lovers? I'm Jeff.
I'm Kyle.
And we are Shut Up, I Like This podcast, where we talk about how much we like film and we don't hate and bitch and
Complain.
nitpick and do everything that is popular, apparently, nowadays. I'm sure you can find a bunch of Chappie podcasts where they just bitch and moan about it. I don't know, I'm assuming.
I've never typed in the words Chappie podcast before.
I don't know. But I'm sure like a lot of those movie podcasts probably bitched and tore it apart.
I adore this movie.
Yeah.
This movie's great. It's a lot of fun.
You've been wanting to do it for a couple weeks now.
I have been, yep.
So I'll run through real fast, do Rotten Tomatoes, do the cast. This is episode number 73. Rotten Tomatoes critic score. Critics have this at 33%.
Ooh.
Which is a lot lower than I actually thought.
That's low.
Yeah, I thought it would have been higher.
I thought this would have been a high critic score movie in the lower audience.
I was expecting it to be like, so backwards, but no. And then the audience score is closer to 60%. It's at 56.
That's more like it.
So, yeah, that's a huge difference.
I was thinking the other day about Rotten Tomatoes. We always put such a,
we do it to kind of mock.
We do it to mock it a little bit, but like everyone does this, we're guilty of it too. You always look at the audience score. Have you ever actually scored a movie on Rotten Tomatoes? No. Neither have I. No. I bet the majority of people on Twitter and social media that look at scores don't actually review movies on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah. I think that's interesting.
I think we've joked about it before. Like every movie we do, we should go on Rotten Tomatoes and just 100% greatest movie ever.
Yeah.
Just to counterbalance
just to bump up the scores for it. Yep.
I don't know. I might have to do that. Run through the cast real fast for Chappie, 2015. Not that old. Seems like it came out a little bit longer than that, I thought, but not that long ago.
Yeah.
Cast. We've had a lot of these actors on here before. Sharlto Copley.
Love him.
We just had for Hardcore Henry. I'm sure we'll have to do like A-Team or something.
A-Team would be a good one.
That's a good one.
Of course, he was District 9.
District 9.
I think that's the
I'd like to
big
do that
movie
one
you'll
too.
recognize him from.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was his first movie. We talked about in Hardcore Henry. That was his first one. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, like how do you find someone like him who's a great character actor and just like, I'm going to put him in this movie for the first time.
And he wasn't even supposed to be in it.
Really? I didn't know that.
He was just part of the crew.
That's cool.
And then like if his casting fell apart and stuff, and he kind of stepped into it, and look at him now. Like he's everywhere.
I just watched District 9 the other day. That's a great film.
Yeah, it's magnificent. Dev Patel, who started out about the same time. He did like Slumdog Millionaire and stuff.
Who does he play? Is he?
He's the creator.
Okay.
Dion.
Yes.
Around this time. Even a couple years ago, like Dev Patel, whatever.
Yeah.
But more recently, like he's began to like get into movies that I've like. He's really good. Like he was just in Lion. I think he was nominated for an Oscar and stuff. And he keeps popping up in all these movies that I like.
He's one of those really enjoyable actors that you look at in a film like this, and you're like, I would like to see him in more stuff because he is good.
Yeah, he did great.
Just give him an opportunity.
Hugh Jackman, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, I think this is...
Hey, Hugh, we got a movie about robots. You want to be in it?
Okay.
Sure thing, mate.
Might.
Can we talk about his haircut?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like almost a mullet.
It is. It's essentially.
Do you think that was his idea to be like, I'm going to play this character and he's going to have because usually he's Hugh Jackman. Yeah. He's really cool. He's like the coolest guy in any movie. And he's like, no, I'm going to have a terrible haircut.
I wonder if it's like an Australian thing.
You think he just like...
Because I have no idea, but in like a lot of interviews and stuff and of like native Australians that I see, they tend to have kind of wacky haircuts.
Yeah.
Steve Irwin, he had a mullet for a while. Kind of thing. So
it's funny how we were joking. We were like, how many movies does he get to use his actual voice in? Here's one. Yeah, here's Chappie.
I was bitching about that for
I found
Real
one.
Steel.
I found one for you, Jeff.
Yes. I'm going to save those ones. Cut to Sigourney Weaver. Sigourney Weaver's in this.
We were just talking about that before we recorded. And you forget that she's in the movie until you start watching it.
I completely forgot.
Sigourney Weaver's in Chappie?
Yeah, and then I saw her name pop up. I was like, oh yeah. I completely forgot.
That's right.
Yeah, that's cool. Sigourney Weaver's fucking cool. There's no strong females in today's cinema.
Not at all. Aliens.
We bitch about this all
Aliens
the time.
does not exist.
No.
I was just watching Uma Thurman in Kill Bill.
Oh, yeah.
And I was
there
like, the bride from Kill Bill would kick the shit out of Captain Marvel.
Well.
Just saying.
Jose Pablo Cantillo, he played America. I know you really like America's character.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's
cool.
I wrote down, for sure, he was in Crank, and I forgot to write down some other stuff that he was in, but he's recognizable.
He's
been in, he plays Verona, the main bad guy in Crank.
Okay.
That he throws out the plane and shit. We should do Crank.
That was a bizarre movie. I'd have to rewatch it.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
It almost should have had Nicolas Cage in it at some point. Like, his over-the-topness would have fit perfect in that film.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, Crank, like, they mixed that over-the-top craziness, but kept it, like...
It worked somehow?
Yeah,
I don't quite know how to explain it other than it worked.
Yeah, I never saw the sequel, but I know...
Bizarre film.
I know that first one was
I remember
badass.
the second one picks up right after the first one.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Like, immediately.
He gets up off the ground.
Yes. Yes.
That's crazy. And then the people that I was talking about want to stay is Ninja and Yolandi from Die Antwoord.
That stupid band that I kind of like now because of this movie.
See, I knew them from like 2011, 2012. Shout out to Colin. My buddy Colin came back from college. He was visiting me and he showed me all these music videos. This is what's popular, and this was Die Antwoord was one of those. I Think You're Freaky, and her eyes are all black and shit.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Like Crank,
Babies
it's just
on
bizarre.
Fire. It was just, and that was all. Like, all of a sudden now they were like in my consciousness. I knew who they were. And then 3 years later, they pop up in this movie. I'm like,
it's weird.
I know that weird guy. And they don't even, like, they're kind of like themselves, but they're not. They're still Ninja and Yolandi. Like, they
it's
don't
odd.
change their
I think
names.
they wear their own merchandise at one point in the film.
Throughout the entire film, yeah.
I had no idea who they were
That's amazing.
the first time I seen the movie because I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know who the hell they were, and I just thought that guy that they're interesting. Who the hell is that? And then you eventually learn, oh, they're from a band, and then I'm like, music is weird. I kind of like it, but it's odd.
Right.
I had to be in a very specific mood to listen to it.
Yeah.
So that's cool, but for me, I'll always see like the ninja guy and be like, "Oh, it's the guy from Chappie." Before I think of him being as a musician
rapper,
or the band or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's really good.
I
like
wanna,
him.
I want to take a minute.
I wanted to compare him a little bit to Danny Trejo.
Okay.
Okay,
Just
it's
like,
kind of.
let's quit spitting.
Yeah, sorry, it's kind of an odd comparison, but like Danny Trejo has such a unique look to him with all the tattoos and just his face in general.
Face, how he always looks mad.
That's just Danny Trejo, and you just don't get that. And well, this ninja guy is the same way. Like the tattoos
Just
and the
unique.
personality and his look is like you don't get that.
That's who he
You don't
is.
get that in a casting agency.
Right. That's who he is, and
him.
it fit. I want to take a minute to put aside for them because this is their one and only feature film. This is the only one they've done, and for being an odd like rap singing duo from South Africa, I think they fucking crushed it.
They hold
I think Ninja, especially, I mean, Yolandi was fine, but I think Ninja, like, really fucking crushed it.
They hold the film. I mean, you've got one character that's CG, and two
And they're acting against CG
against a CG character.
Yeah.
And two rappers. I mean, come on, that should be a disaster, but it's not.
Yeah. I remembered the film, and I remembered them. I remember everything that goes with it, but I did not remember how well they acted.
Yeah.
They just crushed it. And then it boggles my mind that they're not in anything else. I mean, I understand that it'd be kind of like typecast, like what else are they going to do?
I mean...
besides be gangsters?
But I don't...
But give them something else.
Rob Zombie, call him up. Like, they'd be perfect. They'd be perfect in a Rob Zombie film.
Like anything like that. And Chappie is not just, it's listed as like an action, blah, blah, blah. It's not, like, it's got a, okay, I'm going to make a comparison to a film that we did that I think makes a lot of sense. Chappie and Unleashed.
Okay.
In Unleashed, you have a guy who's raised and taught violence and doesn't know any better and has the mind of a child and doesn't until he's nurtured and loved.
Right.
And Chappie, he's a new AI. He has kind of the mind of a child. He's learning, but he's being brought up and he's being taught violence and guns and knives and shit. And he gets scared and he doesn't understand the rest of the world. And then until he's nurtured and taken care of by Creator, kind of, until shit. I saw a lot of weird comparisons there.
That's a good comparison, though.
And so it says action, but Chappie's and Unleashed are much more than just action films. They have a deeper story. And so what I'm getting at is Ninja and Yolandi, it's not like you just stuck them in an action film and said, hey, point this gun and shoot. Like, they had to act and show emotion and, like, nurture this robot.
Right, because I think, to kind of piggyback off that, I thought that what makes Chappie an interesting film is that it's like a weird kind of coming-of-age movie with Chappie growing and learning. And it reminded me...
It's a John Hughes film.
Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of, like, Pinocchio in a weird way, about Chappie wanting to become be accepted and become a real boy.
I'm a real boy.
In a weird way. And if anyone's at all familiar with, like, the original Pinocchio story, it's really dark and fucked up. And the scenes where Pinocchio is also a bit of an asshole in that movie, and Chappie is taught to be kind of an asshole in parts in this movie too. That's just an interesting little comparison, and I think that's what makes this movie unique over top of, like, a Michael Bay. We pick on Michael Bay a lot, even though we both like him.
Yeah, Bad Boys.
Bad Boys.
You can't dispute Bad Boys.
And The Island, The Rock.
The Rock.
Yeah, Michael Bay's got some good stuff, but it's an easy comparison to make about just, like, the spectacle of the action movie, and that's not Chappie.
It's like we talked about with Unleashed. It's a drama, coming of age, with violence, and violence kind of expedites the story, but it's not the whole. When you say Chappie, I don't think, oh, good action film. You know what I mean?
I don't think that either, because it's not an action. It's not your traditional action movie. No, not at all.
But every time I looked it up on Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, it kept coming up with the tag of action. First thing, action film. I'm like, really?
There's more action in District 9 than what there is in Chappie. Because, I mean,
definitely.
There's
the headhunters and
a lot of sequences with guns and a lot of stuff blowing up and whatnot, where they go into the underground vault and they're blowing things up. And Chappie doesn't really have that much overall action in it.
No. I mean, it's got those action sequences, but that's a small part of the film.
It's really a story of growth.
Yeah.
For Chappie. I wanted to talk about, before we get into, like, the meat and potatoes of the movie, the setting and how much I love the setting.
Oh, me
and
too.
This is the second time that Neil Blomkamp has set a movie in South Africa.
I love it too.
What is it, Johannesburg?
Yep.
Is this set in Johannesburg?
Yeah.
As well?
Yep.
So same as District 9. I love that, because every movie is set in, not every movie, but so many movies are in New York.
New York, L.A.
New York, Chicago, L.A., the aliens land, and they go to Washington, D.C.
Yeah,
and, like,
exactly.
like District 9 even I just watched District 9, that's why I'm talking about it a lot.
Well, it's Neil Blomkamp.
But it's Neil Blomkamp, and it's very similar with styles.
This is like his... sorry to interrupt, but this is fine. Like his Cornetto trilogy.
Right.
He has District 9, Elysium, Chappie is the same as Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World Ends.
Yeah, definitely. So in District 9, they even make, like, a line in the beginning of the movie. One of the news anchors is talking and says, everyone thought the aliens would land over Washington, D.C. or New York. And instead, the ship landed over Johannesburg, South Africa. And I think the setting is really unique. And he's one of the few filmmakers to capture it. And that's what makes District 9 work. This is what makes Chappie visually interesting, because you're in a different part of the world that's not familiar to I'm going to say Western audiences in general.
Right.
It makes it more I don't is believable the word I want to use for it?
I get what believable.
You know where I'm getting at? You could set this movie in, like, what?
L.A.,
Chicago.
Chicago would probably be a good place because of all the gangs.
With all the gang violence and stuff in Chicago and whatever. Like, you could set it there and it would probably work, but I really, really like the setting.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's something that I really enjoy about Neil Blomkamp because that's where he's from. He's from South Africa.
Yeah.
Sharlto Copley is from South Africa.
Yeah, he's cool. It's cool that he was on the crew, and they're like, "Hey, you're good.
Yeah.
Fill in."
I like that. I don't know the story of how Diane got into this, but I guess
Where are they from?
South Africa.
So he must have just been a fan of him.
Well, yeah. And
I mean, because you see their music videos, they're weird, but they can act. You can tell from their videos.
can you though, like this good though? I mean,
He had some faith, a leap of faith, a little bit with him, but
definitely, I definitely think so. But I guess it went before. Was Elysium in between this? This is the third. Elysium was second.
I want to say after. I can look really quick if you want to.
But I think Ninja. He wanted Ninja in the role of Matt Damon's character in Elysium.
Oh, really?
It's weird that they went because they wanted Ninja, and then he didn't want to do it because he didn't want his first role to be an American accent-ish guy, and then I guess Eminem was offered it. That didn't work out.
It was District 9 Elysium in 2013 and Chappie in 2015. So what were we saying about Eminem?
Eminem was supposed to be in Elysium. He was supposed to be Matt Damon's character. And that's
would have been cool.
There's a bunch of Eminem music in there. Same thing with Southpaw. They wanted Eminem for Southpaw.
Yeah.
He's been offered a lot of roles. But for whatever reason, time constraints, too busy, whatever, he always ends up just doing music.
He picks and chooses what he's going to do next, I think.
Oh, yeah.
He puts a lot of thought into that. He don't strike me as one of these people. Just, I'll do anything that comes my way.
Yeah,
no. And there's definitely he would have been cool in Elysium.
Yeah,
that would have been neat.
Too. So I thought Ninja, why would he have had to do an American accent, though? That's what I didn't understand. That's what I read.
Yeah, I don't know if I understand that. I wonder if that's... I don't know. Studio?
Because I think Ninja
that sounds like a studio mandate to me.
I don't know. I don't know. After seeing Ninja in this, I think he would have done great in Elysium. So that's kind of a bummer. And it's a bummer that he's not doing anything right now. Like, why? After this, nobody sat there and went, oh, we should get Ninja.
Maybe he doesn't want to.
Maybe, I guess.
I mean, I don't know the guy. I'm just guessing. But maybe he kind of strikes me as like, I don't have to do anything. Like, he's got...
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he's got his career in music and whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. It's odd. I just wanted to talk about them because I thought they were a huge centerpiece of the film.
I also wanted to mention, I know Neil Blomkamp has other work coming. RoboCop Returns coming down the pipeline. That's really cool. Why isn't he attached to everything? You know what I mean?
Say that for everybody.
I know, but why? Because he should be.
Because he doesn't do everything. But when you pick a film, that's like at least 2 years of your life devoted to something.
Yeah, I know, but you look at his directorial, and it's like a bunch of... Like, it goes from, he had a great start, District 9, Elysium, Chappie, and then it's a lot of just short films. I'm not knocking short films, but it's like, how come he hasn't had a next big movie?
RoboCop.
Well, RoboCop, but that don't even have a date attached to it. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe he's...
Or wasn't he attached to do an Alien film?
I have no idea.
At one point. I thought he was attached to do an Alien film that maybe fell through. Maybe that's why we haven't...
But with like the Prometheus and the Alien Covenant, why would what's-his-face give up directing rights?
Because I thought they were... Yeah, Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott, yeah.
Because I thought that they were doing something... I don't know. I think it was I don't remember. I should have looked it up before we started recording.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I thought it was some kind of big mess between him and the studio, and I don't know. I don't remember. I should have looked it up more.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I didn't look into Neil too much. I just know essentially his Cornetto's trilogy. That's all I know.
Yeah.
So I guess so. Do you remember your first experience seeing this?
I'm trying to remember precisely. This was a family video, like, buy for me. I didn't see it in theaters.
Me either.
Because I just didn't, because it probably didn't come to town.
No. I doubt it.
But I know I bought it at Family Video, because I have it on Blu-ray at home. I know this was one of my Family Video buys.
Yeah.
So, however long it takes for a movie to hit,
Say like,
get past its theater run and then come out on DVD and stuff.
Yeah, I bought it on Blu-ray about the time that it came out, probably within a week or so, and watched it then. So that's stuff like this. It doesn't come to theaters around here. Even in Fort Dodge, I don't remember it being there. So.
Yeah, that's kind of the shitty part about living in a smaller
middle
town.
of nowhere.
Yeah. I love and hate multiplexes.
Yeah.
The good part about having 8 screens is that you do get an opportunity to play movies like Chappie that don't necessarily come around here.
So getting into the film, a couple things I want to mention right off the bat is I love the beginning with the interview style shots with actual reporters, Anderson Cooper being one. I wrote down that, like Batman v Superman, I love when they bring in, like they brought in Neil deGrasse Tyson and it makes it feel grounded and makes it feel real. And I really like when films like this do that because it just adds that little extra thing that they didn't have to do. So I really like that, real life support reporters and stuff. And then I wrote down a couple other films because right off the bat, it seems so RoboCop-y, iRobot, The Three Rules, and then Terminator-y.
A little Skynet.
It's a little bit, yeah, exactly. It's a little bit of everything put together. And I think when we get to like District 9 and stuff, it's a lot of the same thing where it's just like everything that he liked. He just kind of took little pieces and bits of everything and put it together to make his film.
So cool. Yeah. It's just so cool.
And then right off the bat, I'm going to probably just throw myself in the fire. I agree with Hugh Jackman's character.
What specifically?
Just combating AI.
Yeah.
And human-controlled bots and stuff.
Over top of...
look how easily he completely corrupted all the droids.
The droids.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not wrong.
Easy peasy.
Although
and I mean
his robot, Top Heavy McGee that he built
with RoboCop could fall down the stairs.
And it was very clearly Ed 209 from the RoboCop films.
Yeah.
I like that inspiration. That was cool. Yeah. But I like the way how like unnecessarily large his was. I thought that was probably meant to be funny.
Right.
And I think it was.
He's a soldier. And that's. But
it's just like in RoboCop, like when they first introduce Ed 209, they bring the little podium control thing out. Like this will be the hot new military tech for the next 20 years. Like and that's the same thing they were going for.
Right.
In this, can you tell I like RoboCop a little bit,
like
folks?
I said, yeah, RoboCop, iRobot, Terminator, it's all in there. But yeah, the whole idea of AI against a human-controlled machine. We've seen too many movies. AI never works out.
The AI never goes well.
This is like the rarest exception. Chappie, he's the black sheep. It's like, that's the, I don't know. So right off the bat, I'm just like, Hugh Jackman's the bad guy.
He's kind of right.
Shit.
Yeah.
So maybe threw myself in the fire right there, but I'm with Hugh. Another thing I wrote down is Tetrahedral, the company he works for. I just thought it was cool. I wrote down Tetrahedral.
We like fictional names for companies.
Yeah. Yep.
Logos and stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then I like the colored guns. I like the contrast of everything, like the bright yellow.
I know what you mean. It comes back.
I wrote down Borderlands-esque, where every gun's different.
And it reminded me again of like just the setting in the movie, and you can kind of get away with colored guns like you can't here in America.
And I didn't write it down, but there was something in trivia about that where those guns are like only made in South Africa, so that they're kind of blocky and different looking. But then they're like, well, these are different enough for being in the future. It was a year ahead. It was supposed to be set in 2016, but in a future where we have robots. So they didn't have to make like weird prop guns. Yeah. Those are just the guns of South Africa, and they spray painted them.
That's cool.
Because they look cool.
One of the standout parts of District 9 is probably the alien technology and how cool it looks. So you're looking at him having We keep coming back to this, but I like when directors know what they like and they keep doing that in movies.
Yeah.
And you can clearly tell that Neil Blomkamp likes aliens and robots and cool guns and those kinds of stories because it's on display in Chappie.
Everything.
Again, it's like, here's everything that he likes right out in front of you. Like, that's cool to me.
Yeah.
Why would you not make movies that you like?
Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
Blade Runner and Alien. And
Yeah.
Edgar Wright with the, I mentioned before, the Cornetto trilogy. Like, it's very, just about every director knows exactly what Eli Roth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Tarantino movies are very Tarantino
Exactly.
movies. Yep. Those are the good directors. The bad, no, I'm serious. Like, the bad directors are the ones that have no, like, anyone could, like, I don't even know what's a good example, but, like, anyone could have made that movie.
Brett Ratner.
Yeah? You're not wrong.
X-Men 3, Superman Returns. Did he do Superman Returns?
Superman Returns?
Yeah. Singer.
That was...
Or was that Ratner?
Who did X-Men 2?
Singer.
He was the one that did Superman Returns, because he left. Because the big deal was that he left the X-Men movies to do the Superman.
Are you sure it wasn't X-Men 3?
No, because that was Ratner.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was Bryan Singer.
Bryan Singer did Superman
Bryan
Returns?
Singer did Superman Returns. Because I
And
remember,
then he came back to do...
Because I remember Days of Future Past.
Oh.
That was his redemption to, like, get the movie. Because I remember Kevin Smith saying the one thing you can never fault Brett Ratner for, or Bryan Singer for, is that he made exactly the fucking Superman movie that he wanted to, because it's so boring. There's no there's no way a studio would have came up with that movie. Like, that was 100% what he wanted to do with it.
It's weird that he just crushed X2 and then went over and did Return.
His ideas for part 2 that never got made sounded really badass, but that's a whole podcast we could get into later.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman, he uses his own accent in this film. I wrote that down right away.
I like that.
I love it when actors get to use their own accents.
It's got to be fun for him. He doesn't get to do it too often.
Yeah, I've got some stuff in trivia about it that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So when we get there, I'll talk more about his accent. I want to talk about a scene. Actually, we're coming up on half an hour, so we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, I want to talk about the first scene that kind of makes my sad hurt. My sadness hurts.
Your sad hurt. That's a t-shirt design.
Sad hurt.
Sad hurt.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, so getting into the first thing I want to talk about is Ninja does such a great job in this film.
He really does.
He's such a fuck. So he convinces Chappie to get in the van. Come on, we're gonna go for a ride.
I want to go in the car.
Yeah.
I like how
he's like a little doggy.
Chappie is so excited all of the time, and he's got those damn ears.
I know, those fucking
the
dog
ears is
things.
what makes you like really love this character. Like, that's a good design.
Yeah. But
So he gets in the car.
Gets in the van. They take him out and they just fucking push him out into like where all these hoodlums are hanging out. And then I want to get back in the car. And then they just leave him there, and then he gets his ass beat. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
Because he looks like
a cop, a police
droid. He's got the reject sticker on him.
Pisses me off anyway, but that whole scene, and then him crying, I want to go home. It's just like, it made you connect to a robot, and I was like, fuck. Now I have feelings
for a fucking robot.
For a robot,
yeah,
and it's the ears, how it's like puppy ears, and then it's the worst parts. It's like a fucking little kid, and then mixed with a puppy. It's not fair. It's not fair how he does it.
Right, like, you shouldn't care as much as you care about Chappie.
Right,
but you do.
Yeah.
He's just just the way the character is wrote is so brilliant. Because you feel for him. Everything that he goes through, you're like, God, he didn't ask for any of this shit. He really didn't. And that whole scene, the whole, I guess you call it, coming home sequence, where they drop him off and he's got to walk through the city and he just sees everything terrible. What the fuck? Like, that's heartbreaking.
And then oh man, Ninja, Ninja does a great job of making me hate him. He's a good actor.
He's a jerk. His character is a total jerk in this film.
And I like Yolandi's character. And the mommy daddy thing is weird to me. First off, but then like the way that Yolandi treats him and stuff, like I get it.
She gets very parental.
Yeah,
like instantly, which I get.
Like, but do you?
A little bit.
Because men and women are the same, Kyle.
There's actually differences between the genders, Jeff. Someone's gonna fucking down. We were just talking about why we're never gonna be popular on YouTube. There's actually differences between the two genders, Jeff.
Yes. And we just crushed two sides of people with do and
get this. Traditionally, females are more parental.
Weird.
Yes. So the roles of the two characters made sense.
I just feel the emails coming.
I don't care, honestly.
But the way that Yolandi like instantly becomes like this mother bear.
Because he's a kid.
Yeah.
She gets
It's weird that she understands right away, but Ninja's such a fucktard.
Because he's looking for, we need money.
A gangster, yeah.
We need money for this next job, this next score. We're fucked. We got to get out of this. He's viewing him more as a tool.
Right.
But he does, his weird character arc is that he does end up like...
It's a weird exception.
He's still a douchebag?
Yeah, but the way that he treats him is like, your favorite scene, I'm sure. Go ahead and talk about that, where he's teaching him how to... you gotta walk cool.
You gotta be cool.
Yeah.
You gotta be cool, Chappie.
In the way that, like,
what's the line? I got the exact line.
And the way that he treats him during that scene, though, it's like, okay, you're not a complete asshole, but you're still teaching him to do bad. It's frustrating,
Chappie,
to say the least.
If you want to be in the gang, you gotta be cool like Daddy. And then they shows him with the shotgun. You gotta walk. And he shows him how to walk like a gangster. And then what was the other line in it about? Don't laugh.
Oh yeah. America starts laughing, and Chappie says, "Don't laugh. I'm being cool."
Yeah, don't laugh. I'm being cool. Like, that's just the neatest shit. And then he's like, "No, you can't." He's like, "What are you gonna do?" Like, you can't use the gun. And so he cocks the gun at him for some reason and points it at him. He's like, "What are you gonna do?" And then they teach him to like
throwing stars.
Yeah, like you can put people like, I got this.
Asleep.
You can put people asleep, and they show him how to like throw the ninja stars and shit. I love that part of the movie. That's just that fucking robot, just like walking like a gangster and not understanding anything that's going on.
Exactly. It's like Unleashed. It's like the prequel to Unleashed. Like
a little bit.
But just imagine, instead of Chappie, it's Jet Li. That's the beginning of Unleashed.
You're not wrong.
It must have been exactly how it was. Yeah. Instead of Ninja, it's Bob Hoskins. Instead of Chappie, it's fucking Jet Li.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. And the thing that Neil Blomkamp does, God, I don't know how to explain it, but District 9, Elysium, Chappie, as much as I like these films, I think they're really well done and I really like them. At the same time, it still pisses me off. And it gives me anxiety, not just the endings, which we'll get to, but throughout the whole film. Like, he makes you feel a certain way for certain characters, even if you don't want to, because they're a piece of shit. But then it's a constant string of anxiety when I watch these films.
Right? Or that's maybe just your life in general. I've not decided. He has a way of making you care for characters that you shouldn't necessarily care about. Ninja is consistently a douchebag in this. Like, he's a douchebag in the beginning of the movie. By the end of the movie, he's still a douchebag. You just, for some reason, kind of side with him a little bit. I don't really... why? I don't know.
Hidden somewhere in there is some character development that gets overlooked or missed, or I completely missed it or something, but like when he's standing at the top burning pictures of why she's gone, why would you burn pictures of her? But then you feel kind of bad for him because I lost Yolandi.
Yeah,
it's like, what are you doing? Because it's your fault. That's the whole thing. It's their fault.
It's I totally.
It's when we talked about Punisher. Fuck the bad guys.
Right?
It's their fault.
Here's what it boils down to. They've got a very weird, fucked up, non-traditional relationship, but you can still relate with the fact that they love one another in their own weird, fucked up way.
Mm-hmm. You know what I just learned?
What?
So I've known about Die Antwoord for almost a decade. It's been since 2011, whatever.
He was there before they were cool in Chappie.
Yeah, because my friend told me about him from his college. Yeah. I just learned today that in real life, they're not married or anything. They have a child together.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the kid's name? Is it Chappie?
It's worse. 16.
How is it spelled? With
16.
Just like the number?
No, like spelled
16.
Out. Like 16 candles.
Okay. That's about what I would expect from them.
But yeah, they have a child together. And I don't know, like, if they're in, like, it doesn't matter if they're married, but, like, are they in a relationship? Or are they just, like, not, like, a working relationship? Like, but I just learned that they have a child together.
Huh, that's kind of cool.
That's probably what you see. Like, even though it's not in the film, there's still, like, their chemistry that is inevitable.
That's what makes them relatable, even though they're terrible people in the movie. They're terrible. Everything they're doing in the movie is
because they're compassionate for each other.
Yeah.
I don't know if I buy that. There's got to be something else that I missed that's like, oh, that was really. I mean, he was gonna sacrifice himself to save everything, and then she blows up the thing, and then he doesn't die, but then she dies. Why was he gonna die? Why would he sacrifice himself anyway?
Redemption, story of redemption.
But he's done nothing up to that point to offer anything for. Yeah. I don't know. That's the thing. Like, it's just so frustrating. But it's great. I don't know why.
Maybe that could be partially why the critic score is so low.
Because somebody like that is just like, yeah, there's no redemption.
No redemption story.
I don't get it. Instead of looking at it and going, what did I miss? I don't know. There's something I missed.
What was your favorite scene?
I wrote. This is what I wrote down. Wolverine attacks everybody in his giant robot asshole.
Yeah.
I really liked. It was close to the ending. You have
pretty much. Well, not quite, but close.
Yeah. You have the three converging. You have Ninja and Yolandi coming back from the heist with Chappie. You have that other gang leader that they owe money that you don't see. He just kind of pops up, and then he's on his way. And then you got Hugh Jackman coming in his
Ed 209,
and that's the big Michael Bay action scene. I really like it, mainly for the special effects, just because I was watching it and like you can tell like it's special, like but at the same time, like the way that they made it look and everything, like I just really like the way it looked. And I like the way that you have Chappie going against. It's interesting to me. The explosions and the guns. I talked about the guns.
I liked how happy Hugh Jackman was to finally get to like his character was super fucking happy
to kill people.
See,
that's fucked up too. He was gonna kill fucking Dion for nothing,
right?
Like Dion did nothing to like. I get it. They were like it was like Tesla and fucking Edison. I get it, but there's no reason to kill him.
This had to be a fun movie for Hugh Jackman because he gets to. I know you sided with him. You're like, he's right.
Yes,
he is right. He's also the bad guy in the movie,
supposedly,
because he does all he sabotages his shit and whatever. He pulls a gun on him.
It was a joke. He's joking, guys. It's just not.
Try doing that at work. See how well that works out.
They're in South Africa.
They're in South Africa.
No laws.
Everyone's got fucking guns. Just another downvote. It had to be fun for Hugh Jackman to play a giant asshole.
He plays Wolverine all the time.
Well, yeah, but Wolverine, it's a little different.
Because it's PG-13.
Not much, but I mean, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's still right. Dion is arguably the bad
guy. Why do you say?
Because he created artificial intelligence.
And
he was told not to. And he did it anyway. And then once he did create it, Did he not watch a movie? Like, does he not know how this shit works? Like, nothing scares me more than that. I hate it. I hate going to McDonald's and you have to put in the order in the machine.
You know, those are like full of
that.
feces.
Huh?
Those screens.
I hate those.
They're like full of.
No,
they're like full of shit.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to touch those. I don't want a machine doing. I don't know. I don't go through car washes.
What?
I'm just kidding. I don't know, but the whole AI thing, like, because especially like now, I mean, we're getting closer to that shit every day. Like, I don't know if it'll be in our lifetime, but
I don't have one.
It's
but
terrifying.
I don't have one, but loads of people willingly put speakers in their house. That they're like, "Hey, speaker."
Yes, listen. They're on the whole time.
And the speaker's
Amazon Alexas.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you do this.
They fucking sit there and listen to you. It creeps the hell out of me. My phone listens to me enough. I don't want everything else listening to me.
Right.
How many times have we been sitting here talking about a movie and then we get an ad for...
The very specific example, before we recorded our Punisher... Taco Bell. But remember our Punisher podcast?
What did we talk about?
We were sitting upstairs on your couch. We were watching some movie, and we started talking about, we should do Punisher. We're both really big Punisher fans. And then I was scrolling on my Facebook, and I got a sponsored advertisement for, like, a Punisher comic. You remember that?
Vaguely. I remember the Taco Bell one.
Yeah.
We were sitting down here, I don't know, maybe a month ago, and before we started recording, you went, you know what I'm really craving, phone? Taco Bell. Taco Bell would be real. And then what? 12 hours later, a day later?
I went home.
Yeah, an ad for Taco Bell.
I sent a screenshot to you.
That shit doesn't creep you out, and you want AI, I'm out.
You want Chappie?
I'm done. Fuck Chappie.
But what if your computer was really nice like Chappie?
It's too risky.
Yeah.
Way too.
You don't want to risk it?
No. And I don't need another child.
I was going to ask you, if you had Chappie, what would be the first thing you would teach him? But you have children, so...
I liked the painting scene, actually.
Yeah.
I liked that. I thought that was really cool.
That's pretty cool.
Don't let people limit your creativity. But I don't know.
I would show...
There's a lot of stuff that when Dion goes back and he's Googling, when does your child start talking? In 3 to 6 months, they'll say they're...
Oh, to figure out how fast he was developing.
Yeah. I thought that was super interesting. Mm-hmm. And
why would you write a program
that started off at infancy?
Yeah, why would you, I don't know.
Just the whole concept of AI freaks me out.
Maybe you have to for it to learn. You have to have it at a starting point. But
yeah, but why can't you move the starting point?
Why couldn't you just be like, watch everything on YouTube?
And that's what Chappie fucking does later in the film. He goes, oh, I just Googled everything, and everything that your race has ever learned is on there.
Like in the Matrix.
Why the fuck didn't you do that earlier, Chappie?
I know Kung Fu.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah. Why did he wait
Chappie knows Kung Fu now.
And he's got it. I love the tower of PS4s.
Oh, yeah. That he just hooks up a bunch of PS4s in a VR helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just... There's the whole... I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. You got anything you want to talk about? Because I'm mumbled.
Mumbles from...
yeah.
Yeah. What did I know? There's a bunch of stuff that I probably forgot about until we stopped recording.
The dog. I hate that scene.
What scene?
Where they go and they get all the PS4s. And they leave Chappie downstairs.
That's heartbreaking.
And the dead dog.
Yeah.
And then
they were
Ninja
Michael
coming
Vick
down.
That shit.
Yeah. And then Ninja's like, do you want to be that dog or that dog? Shit is heartbreaking.
Life lessons. Coming of age movie.
But I don't know.
One day you will have to have that talk with your children at the at the local dogfighting rink.
Right.
And you will be prepared because you have seen the movie Chappie.
Chappie realizes that he's going to die and his battery is stuck. That shit was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I wrote down a bunch of heartbreaking shit. I started with when they drop him off to get his ass beat. I want to go home. Chappie finds a dead dog.
I want to know what kind of batteries inside Chappie
Duracell.
that can run a robot for like a week. Yeah. And my phone is dead at the end of the day.
Yeah.
How does that work?
It's an alternate universe.
Yeah.
I mean, they have fucking robots.
It's fake. That's how it works.
Yeah. I
thought the scene was really touching where he comes home, he's lost his arm, and America fixes his arm, and he's like, "You're indestructible, Chappie."
Am I gonna be better, Mommy? Oh my god.
Little moments like that are so good. That's why I like this movie.
Have you seen Daddy's Home? Mark Wahlberg, Will Ferrell.
No, I haven't. Not yet. I want to. I just haven't.
Will Ferrell comes home and he sees his family in there with their biological dad. And Hannibal Buress is like this mechanic that's hanging out at their house all the time. Hannibal Buress is hilarious. Great comedian. He comes up and he's looking in with Will Ferrell and he goes, "You know, I don't really like you, but that shit is heartbreaking." So every time that I keep saying heartbreaking, I'm thinking of that.
That scene from that movie.
But, yeah, and the whole Yolandi's asking him like, who did it? What happened? And a man did it. In a van. Did he put you in the whole thing?
Yeah,
making me feel for robots, AI, and I hate it. I hate AI.
He saves her.
Yeah.
On the hard drive.
Okay, let's talk about that.
You don't like that?
No, I do. I like the whole thing, but it's just it's frustrating. We've talked about District 9 and Elisa, his whole trilogy right here. It's always so... I don't hate it, but the ending of District 9, the ending of this...
Oh, I know where you're going.
It's just...
It's very open.
It's open, and it's frustrating, and I want to know... At the end of District 9, after 4 years, does he come back?
Does he come back? Does he bring an alien invasion? Is he going to invade Earth? Is he going to enslave us?
What happens at the end of Chappie? I assume that he goes back and he tells, "Hey guys, look, I got Mommy's consciousness and shit." And are they just a happy family of robots, except for Ninja, who can't bone any of them? Like,
do they turn him into a robot?
Do they turn him into a robot? Like, okay.
Do they have chargers?
Okay, Daddy, we have to go shoot you. Turn you into a robot. It's maybe that's a critic's score too, is because the open-endedness, and I understand it because it frustrates me, but it's so well done. And that's what frustrates me too, because he did it right, he did it how you should, and it's done really well, but it just pisses me off at the same time.
I love it because I love movies that let you as an audience kind of...
I know, me too, but it's still frustrating.
Yeah, I think it's cool. This is one of those movies where we don't need a Chappie 2. What would Chappie 2, what would a sequel to this movie be about?
Do they go back and kill Wolverine? Or do they live as a happy family of robots? Where do they go? They're being hunted? I
would argue that that's not interesting. I would say that that's not as interesting as the story told in the first movie. Even... District 9, you could say...
I need to know District 9.
I don't...
Does he have to live as an alien for the rest of his life?
I don't know if you actually need answers to those questions. Because what is a sequel to District 9? It's probably Independence Day. I've already seen Independence Day. The part of what made District 9 so special is I hadn't seen a movie done like that before. You take that uniqueness away from it, and you get the Pacific Rim sequel, which sucked. I love the first Pacific Rim. I hate the sequel. That's why I'm okay with... We've only had one District 9. We've only had one Chappie. Like, I don't think you need to franchise every single...
You don't need a franchise, but just do a follow-up and tell us.
I think these are two great examples of you don't need a sequel. You just don't.
This is what I was talking about, though. I appreciate how well done they are, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
And I hate that Dion becomes a robot. That just...
I like it. He becomes his creation.
But no!
The inventor becomes his creation, Jeff.
Haven't you seen Reservoir Dogs? It takes several days for a man to bleed out from the belly. Take his ass to a hospital. That's the thing. Chappie doesn't know to take him to a hospital.
They totally could have got him to a hospital.
Yes. Why doesn't Chappie doesn't know what a hospital is? And
I'm kind of with you on that one. But the inventor becomes his creation. I think that's a good story to tell.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that anecdote all the time. What's the moral of the story? I don't. I wrote down. I forgot how it ended. Right? Is I kind of thought of District 9. I was like, they won't do that again. And
they did it again.
I remembered up until when Hugh Jackman attacks them.
Yeah.
And then after that, I completely forgot what happened. And then
they sneak back into the lab. They do the VR
I forgot
thing.
about all of that. About all that. Transferring of consciousness. And
Yep.
I'm going to get you a new body. And then they transfer his consciousness via Wi-Fi to another scout.
They must have some good Wi-Fi speeds.
Yeah. It's so interesting. The only thing I wish they would have, I mean, obviously you can't because nobody knows, but you create a backstory or do some kind of explanation more to the idea of consciousness, because you're doing a whole film about AI. The whole thing with transferring AI, I just feel like if they would have done a little bit more.
They kind of glossed that part over a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like a computer screen with Tetris blocks on it.
Right.
That's you.
Right. I kind of wanted, like when Chappie goes through Google, I kind of wanted him to see like what he was reading. Was he reading, Stephen Hawking and stuff like that? And
I love loads of robot porn.
Ooh, BattleBots.
Yeah. It's watching like Iron Giant and shit.
But I just
like getting off to it.
That's my only complaint, is I just wish they could have gotten into the idea of consciousness a little bit more, because to me that's the most interesting thing.
That's a difficult subject.
Like I said, it's hard to do because nobody knows what it is.
Yeah.
Or why are you? Why am I?
That's a fucked up decision.
Why is Gamora? Nobody knows.
I don't know.
I just, even if they had to create something or like write this interesting consciousness idea or some theories or something, and just incorporated more of that.
Yeah.
I think a film about consciousness would be
the
really
idea
interesting.
that you can hook like 12 PS4s and a VR helmet together and be okay, Jeff, put this helmet on, is maybe a little corny, but
no, I like it though. I like it. I want a little bit more of the theories of consciousness. I think that would have been interesting and added another level to the film. I mean, there's a lot going on. It's a long run time. I get it, but I think it just would have been super interesting. Because I myself find it fascinating.
I'll give you that.
In Days of Future Past, when they send Wolverine back, that's time travel. But they talk about how they're sending his consciousness back to his younger body. So I don't know. I find it really fascinating.
I want to watch Days of Future Past. I want to bring it up because that movie's really good.
Tetrahedral security sucks.
Yeah. They're pretty terrible.
Yeah, I was just and then
they don't shut his, he's got this open anything card.
They kept it on the whole time.
They don't shut it off, and he just keeps using his open anything card.
Yeah, hello? Did you take out the guard key? Oh, yeah, it was a mistake. I took it home. Okay, I'm going to have to tell the boss.
Okay.
And then that was it. I'm like, what?
And then they just don't.
Yeah, and then, he goes in and talk. After everything breaks out, he goes into the office and she goes, you need to figure this out now. What about the guard key? You took the guard key home. You're not going to say anything? Maybe that has something to do with what's happening.
Maybe the guy who invented all this shit?
Yeah. I don't know. That's just silly.
They don't have two of them?
I wrote down Tetrahedral security blows. I just wanted to talk
pretty,
about that.
Pretty terrible.
And, the whole card thing.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You got any final... I don't want it to make it seem like I'm, trashing it. Because I love this film, but I think you can enjoy film and have it, frustrate you because of how well it is.
We've always said you can be critical. You have to be critical of movies. We're not a... What's the phrase I'm going for here? Just watch movies and be dumb and like everything podcast. We're always critical of films when we watch them. And you brought up some valid, unless it's a Brendan Fraser film, in which case, fuck you.
Gets a pass.
Yeah, then he gets a total pass. I would like to see Brendan Fraser as Chappie in a sequel. Just Brendan Fraser. I don't know where I was going with any of that.
Being critical.
Oh, being critical of film. I think you brought up some really valid points.
And it was, like I said, it wasn't even like me trashy. I just would have liked to see more of like the consciousness stuff.
Yeah, and just to kind of loop back to what I liked about the movie, I thought this movie was funny as shit. Like, when I think of Chappie, it's comedy. First and foremost, it's comedy / coming-of-age drama.
It's John Hughes.
Yeah, yeah.
John Hughes is Chappie.
Yeah, there are so many scenes that just crack me up. Just that fucking robot walking like a gangster and just doing all that.
Don't laugh. I'm being cool.
Yeah. Just all of that shit.
I love...
And the interactions between Ninja and Chappie are just everything. When they go to, like, the first car... where they
he just fucking crushes it.
So they're lying to him. They're telling him that, like, these are cars that people have stolen from us, and you got to go get them back. And he just fucking destroys it.
Yeah.
That's so funny to me. Like, I love those sequences.
I forgot about the cars. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, he pulls the lady out, and then he picks up the purse. Is this Daddy's too?
Yeah, it is. And then there are other scenes that, like, it just gets you because he doesn't understand what he's doing, where he's stabbing the cop.
Oh, hey, he's throwing stars at him and shit.
And
you can sleep now. You can sleep now.
And then he pulls it out.
Don't kill me. Don't kill me.
And it's like he realizes a little bit, and you're like, holy shit.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Like, those are some heavy sequences, I think.
A lot of development. Mm-hmm. Well, we're coming up on an hour. We'll take a break, do some final thoughts, and then we'll do trivia. Okay, so final thoughts. I'm just going to say that I really enjoy Neil Blomkamp's films. I think they're all really done really well. I really enjoy them. I like the creativity of them, kind of the world that they put us in. I love all of that. When I say that his endings frustrate me, I just mean like I want to know. I
want to know more.
The open endings, they're done so well.
His movies are good. You want more of his movies.
I need to know. But yeah, so Chappie, for his last of that trilogy, I don't know if it tops District 9, but it's pretty close.
District 9 is still...
And
District 9 is like...
number one.
Yeah, I think so.
I think this is pretty close to it, though.
Confession, I haven't seen Elysium.
Oh, really?
No.
That's pretty good.
Because that came out really close to the same time as Edge of Tomorrow, didn't it?
I think within a year.
Yeah? Maybe? I don't know what that has to do with me not seeing Elysium.
I have no idea.
But I just didn't for whatever.
You should watch Elysium.
Yeah, I'd be willing to check it out. Is it podcast worthy?
Yeah, I'd talk about it.
Okay.
Matt Damon gets locked in.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon gets locked in a gamma radiation thing like Hulk. And then he gets cancer.
Oh.
Not gamma radiation, but he gets
whatever.
He gets cancer, and then he's got to get up to the floating city to get cured. And Sharlto Copley plays like a headhunter and tries to kill him. And pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Jodie Foster is the mean bitch in the floating city.
Cool.
It's kind of typecasting, but whatever.
What ifs?
Any final thoughts about Chappie?
Watch it.
God, you're such a cop-out. Okay. All right, do some trivia. You're going to like this. Tetrahedral can also be seen in District 9. It's on the wall in the MNU laboratories towards the end.
Nice.
Hugh Jackman admits it was hard to keep up with phrases from his home country. He said, I found myself Googling Australian slang.
Because he hasn't spoke it in so long.
Yeah.
That happens to people who get away from their native country.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chappie was proposed trilogy. Eventually, the idea of sequels was dropped. Whatever. I would have liked it. Ninja, I mentioned this earlier, Ninja and Yolandi have a daughter in real life. I thought that was really interesting. I did not know that. Michael Biehn was asked by Blomkamp to audition for the role that went to Sigourney Weaver. Alien actors.
Yeah. That would have been cool.
He has Michael Biehn has a bad run-in with AI as well. So
in real life.
With Terminator.
He's just bad luck with AI in real life. He's in a really underrated movie called...
Terminator?
Yeah, Terminator. Have you heard of the Terminator? I totally drew a blank when I was saying that. Sorry.
Navy SEALs?
No.
I love Michael Biehn. Biehn? I've always said Bane, but I've seen people say Bean.
I always say Bean.
But it's not like Sean Bean.
Yeah.
Looks like Bane.
I'm also a Bane.
Bane. Michael Bane. Of course, a rare villainous role for Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Even though he's not a villain. Really the hero.
A little bit. When he murders a bunch of people.
They're all thugs and bad guys, though. We talked about this in Punisher.
But you're emotionally invested in those douchebags,
I don't
Jeff.
care.
They're not your garden variety meth dealers. You like
pisses me off.
But you like these meth dealers.
No.
Just a little bit.
That's what frustrates me. When we're talking about Punisher, I'm just like, blah, get on with it. Hugh Jackman's punishing. Mommy.
With this big
So because they have a little baby AI robot that says "Mommy, Daddy," then we care because they're bad guys. That's what frustrates me. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm talking about. It's frustrating. There was an alternate ending where Chappie's consciousness is transferred to all of the Scout police robots.
Oh. That would be weird. I wouldn't have liked that.
I wouldn't have liked that either. That's why it's alternate.
Yeah. It's an idea.
Chappie, is that you? Yes.
Yeah. Pops up everywhere.
I'm over here. That's weird. Yeah. I don't like that. Because that's what makes him. That's the whole idea of consciousness. It's you. That's what makes it special.
Yeah, you can't.
And now you're everywhere. I don't know.
It's a little too much.
Too much. That's why it was alternate. So that was all the trivia for Chappie that I wrote down.
What are we doing next week? I know.
Solomon Kane. Great film. It's on Netflix right now. I watched it in 2013. Xbox Live had a free movie weekend. And Solomon Kane. I said, oh, whoever I was with, can I watch that this weekend? Whatever. So she left and went in the room, and I watched Solomon Kane. Well, that's pretty good. I forgot about it. It popped up on
Netflix.
Right? But yeah, I watched it like probably a year ago. I think it popped up on like might have been Tubi or something, and I watched it again. I was like, yeah, I really like this movie. And then we did Van Helsing. Solomon Kane is in the same vein of Van Helsing. It's pretty cool. Angels, demons, devil, and it's a good film. I think you'll enjoy it.
I'll check it out.
It's definitely shot up. I like this.
Is there anyone in it? Any actors?
See, last week I was telling you like, oh yeah, the guy from this and that, and I couldn't remember his name. And then earlier I was thinking about it, remembered his name, and now off the top of my head, I can't fucking remember.
Because you hit the record button and then you just can't remember anything.
Actually, why don't you look it up real fast? Solomon Kane, and give me the first letter. I'll tell you who it is, because he plays the king in A Knight's Tale. He plays I forgot what I even said. But Solomon Kane is a great film, great podcast. I'm looking forward to doing it and getting some more people interested in it.
Oh, I'm looking at the cast right now, and this does have a lot of people I recognize in it.
Pete Poltzwith or whatever. He's great.
Yeah. James.
Oh, for Solomon Kane?
Yeah.
Okay, James. I know this. Oh, that damn camera. I was thinking about it earlier. Purefoy. James, he was one of the bad guys in the first Resident Evil. James Purefoy, great character, great actor. Looking forward to watching you watch Solomon Kane.
Yes, I have not seen it. This will be my first time.
Not a lot of people have seen it. It's one of those little ones.
We've had good luck with that. Harry Brown. You got me to watch Harry Brown.
Yeah, if you like Harry Brown, I think you'll like this.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, next week, episode 73 or 74 will be Solomon Kane. If you haven't seen it, I know it's kind of a weird, offbeat film. Give it a watch, and then you can join us.
Who wins between the gang in Chappie, so Ninja and his little gang, or the gang in Harry Brown?
The gang of 14-year-olds? Ninja.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah?
He's got a yellow machine gun.
There you go. There you
She
go.
has a little pink one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those offbeat Borderland guns.
Because you're a big Fortnite fan.
Shut
I have
the
to.
fuck up.
Every time we go to record, I have to pry the keyboard from Jeff's hands.
Yeah,
Because he's playing so much of the Fortnite.
too much Fortnite.
Have you ever actually played Fortnite? 'Cause
I played a couple rounds on PS4,
yeah.
but could not get into it.
I installed it and then never played it. I'm like, nah.
I installed it because the actual game is like a tower defense
defense thing, right?
against
Yeah.
like zombies or something. So I installed it for that, and then it was like pay $30. I was like, oh, I thought it was free. No, the battle royale is free.
Oh.
And so then I played a match or two of that, and I was like, no, I don't like jumping around like a bunny.
I don't like online games. That's not my thing in general, so no, I don't. I just don't
What made
play
you
it.
think of that?
Colored guns and stuff.
Oh,
and like,
okay,
all the
yeah.
weapons, all the characters.
See,
and-
I always think of Borderlands with the colored.
Borderlands 3 was just announced.
Yeah, I
You see
saw that. Super
Yeah.
pumped for that. We're getting way off topic. Real quick before we go, Zack Snyder. This is not the one on the website. This was an earlier version. The one on the website looks much better actually.
I think that's cool.
Well, I figured out the size and measurements and stuff, and made it kind of a cooler, better looking one. So yeah, get your Zack Snyder tee on PantheonNetwork.com. Also up there, of course, Attack of the Podcast.
We need to record.
This on there.
We need to record.
Yeah, we're
some stuff.
going to try doing some more of
Keep
that.
saying it, but too busy. Too many projects all at once.
Indie Gamer Magazine is up there each and every month, print and digital.
Find
check that out.
actual games and not Fortnite.
Yeah. You can follow it on Facebook and now on Instagram. And I am biting the bullet. I'm going to make an Instagram page for Shut Up I Like This. So you'll be able to follow us on there.
Cool stuff.
And I don't know. Oh, man. Waypoint. Do I want to say anything about it now? It's still too early.
Well, I say wait.
Wait.
We'll
Okay.
wait a little bit.
We have a secret, and we're going to tell you
Cool
tell you
project.
soon.
You got the logo done?
Yeah.
You still working on the logo? You should show the logo.
Well, I don't have it with me right now.
Well, I mean,
Oh, okay.
we have the technology.
Good line.
Yeah.
Good line. All right, so yeah, I might throw that up, give you some goosebumps and stuff, make you wonder what we're doing. But news about that will be coming soon. I'm almost done with something, and then the other thing will fall into place, and then I'll be able to tell you about this thing and what we're gonna do and how it's gonna work. So look out for that. Check out Instagram, follow us on Facebook, do all that shit. Like, subscribe, give us a shout out, hashtag buttfuck,
Sponsored
all that
by
stuff.
Yeti Microphones.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What's that fucking I can't cook, so they send me food in the mail kit?
Right, yeah. Every podcast is doing that one.
Right.
Or
Like,
mattresses. I had a podcast trying to sell me mattresses the other day.
yeah. Really?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Even the Vikings, like listen to Paul Allen, like our Minnesota guy, and they always talk about MyPillow. Sponsored by MyPillow.com.
Yeah, so, and I know we have
I like not having sponsors.
Yeah. We have a bunch of new followers. Our subscriptions are going up on YouTube, and I notice a lot of the older videos keep going up and stuff.
Which is
so
cool.
I think people are like following along, which is super cool. So
I hope so.
I hope you guys get some of the newer stuff though, because the older audio is kind of rough. But
We didn't know what we were doing.
yeah, so
We still don't know what we're doing, but